Just because he saw his mama struggle, he thinks you should struggle right along with him. The days of struggle love are over.
I want to believe that in 2025, no woman is glorifying struggle love. So, if you don't know what struggle love is, let me explain. Struggle love is when you struggle with your man. You're in a relationship with him, or probably you're married, or you're just dating or cutting, and you're trying to endure so many things. You feel like you need to suffer first before you enjoy later. You feel like you need to endure a lot of BS from him because there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You feel like once you're patient enough, you're going to eat the fattest bone. I'm telling you that most of the time, when you do that, when women do that and try to struggle with a man through thick and thin, in fact, I feel like 90% or 99% of the time, it doesn't end well. Struggling with a man doesn't guarantee that your relationship is going to last. So even if your relationship is lasting because you're struggling, it's because the man you're struggling with has not bounced back. Once they realize and see some things, they're going to leave you because they believe that for you to struggle with me, you clearly don't love yourself enough. Some of the time, most men actually believe that women should struggle first before they enjoy. Most men, because they are actually close to their mom and they saw how their mom was struggling with their dad. So they feel like that's a normal way to love. They feel like you need to struggle first before you enjoy the relationship, before you enjoy them. But the thing is, no good thing comes out of you struggling with a man. Most of the time, especially the ones that are not financially okay, and you struggle with them, you build with them together. Most of the time, once they've gotten what they want, their emotional support and the audio support you can give them, they go and marry another wife or they go have baby mamas or they start cheating. That's why they tell you that you might not know the man you're with until he has money. Let me show you some video clips and I'll be back to share my thoughts at the end of the video.
Just because he saw his mama struggle, he thinks you should struggle right along with him. The days of struggle love are over. Ladies, you can do well by your goddamn self. You don't have to struggle with a man to prove your worth, your love, your devotion, because he's going to step on you and cheat on you any goddamn way. His mama did that struggle love shit, and his grandmama did that struggle love shit. And where did it get them? They granddaddy and daddy dog walked all over them. They watched their mamas and grandmamas get played, used, walked all over. Their mamas and grandmamas and aunties are nothing more than pick-me's that believed in that struggle love shit, and now they all old, miserable, and fucking depressed. So he feels that because he watched the women in his family cling on and hold on and do any goddamn thing to keep a man that's dog walking them, cheating on them, putting their hands on them, he's going to expect you to do the same shit. This is why the domestic violence rate is so high, because he's going to get frustrated when he can't control a woman that's not going to behave or fall in line the same way that he saw his mama and grandmama and aunties fall in line with their men. Those women in his family are miserable. And I can guarantee you, if you were to ask all the women in his family if they were going to do the same thing all over again, I guarantee those women would choose a different path. They allowed those men to steal years of their life, steal years of their youth. And now these men are running the streets with their side chicks. And the man you're dealing with expects you to be the same motherfucking way. Hell no. Ladies, let me tell you something. You're not going to get no benefits out of struggling with a man. That 50-50 shit is for the birds, because you go 50-50, you help him build himself up. He going to go get with a woman and he going to leave your ass. And the woman that he gets with, the woman he, proposes to and marries, she not going to have to lift a finger. She not going to have to go 50-50. She not going to have to build shit for him. He going to take good care of her. The more that you do for a man, the more that you submit to a man, the more that he loses respect for you. Dealing with a man that was coddled by his mama and she lacks self-respect and she lets her husband or boyfriend or whoever run all over her, That is your sign to leave, because he was raised to believe that women are to fall in line and give him whatever he wants, even the benefits of cheating on you. He's going to feel entitled, and he's going to label it struggle love. You supposed to be my ride or die. You bigger and stronger than this. No, nigga, I'm bigger than this.
Ladies, can we stop encouraging our friends to accept struggle love? Because I've realized that this is a silent one that keeps a lot of women in a situation that they're not supposed to be in. When your friend is dating a man and he shows her a red flag, encourage her to leave. Because I notice a lot of women start saying irrelevant things like, oh, but he's so cute. Oh, but there's just like something about you. Like, I know he's dumb and stuff, but like, you know he's a good guy. Oh, I just love you two together. What's the relevance? He has done something that is a red flag. He has behaved in a way that has hurt your friend, disrespected your friend, made your friend feel less than, inadequate, or anxious. It is not for you to sit there and make excuses for him. Now, I get that a lot of us are not doing it with ill intent. We generally know how much our friend wants this and we want it for her a lot of times. But we have to be careful that we're not unconsciously co-signing toxicity. And I'm not saying be all up in your friend's business and drag her man, but when she comes to you with a concern, actually look at it from an objective standpoint and respectfully encourage her to move away from it if it's not something that she needs to move towards. Now, like I always say, there's always an exception to the rule, but best results assumes not you.
Avoid struggle love. Helping a man build is a recipe for disaster. He's going to resent you for it. 90% of y'all who are dating men that are struggling financially, if his money was right, he wouldn't even be with you. It's his situation that's forcing him to stay in that relationship. Because if you were truly his dream girl, he would be inspired to become the best version of himself to impress you, so you could look up to him, so you could honor him and respect him. Remember, a woman's prime years are in her 20s and in her 30s. A man's prime years is in his 40s and his 50s. And this is where 90% of the divorces take place once a man hit his prime. Okay, so this is where he's more financially stable. He has his own car, his own crib, his own career. And this is where he wants to go for the women who prioritize beauty and fitness. Okay, see, the thing is this: when you helping a man build, your beauty is affected by that. You can't focus on being feminine. You can't focus on prioritizing self-care because you trying to help him pay the light bill. So your beauty is impacted by that. You are in a masculine role, and he's going to punish you by leaving and abandoning you once he hit his prime, once he become more stable. He's going to leave for the woman who prioritizes being in her femininity. When a man's money not right, he not right. He's moody, he's angry. You're the reason why he's broke. He's going to blame you for all his failures, why he can't prosper in life. And because you're so obsessed with being superwoman and helping him get his money up, you know what he doing while you out working and coming up with the money for the bills? He online looking at the women who prioritize beauty and fitness, and he's being inspired by those women. You're not inspiring him. The women online who ain't helping him is inspiring him. And so that's why when you build them up and they switch up on you, you're heartbroken and you're questioning yourself, why would he leave me for a woman who didn't help him build, who didn't believe in his dream and didn't believe in his vision? Because men are that shallow. Before you date a man, you need to figure out what his childhood was like. If he was raised by a single mother and he saw her pay all the bills and struggle and ain't no man was the leader or provider or protector, you need to get rid of him, because he's looking for a mama. Everything he saw his mama do, he ain't gonna have no problem with you doing it. And he gonna think you a gold digger when you tell him he's supposed to pay 100% of the bills and be the provider and protector. Yeah, if he hasn't been transformed by the renewing of his mind through the word of God and know what his role is in the household as a man through the Bible, you need to get rid of him. His understanding is beyond corrupt. And a lot of these men who be looking for a woman to build them up and pay the bills, they be wanting a traditional woman. How you want A traditional woman, and you got her in her masculine role. She focused on getting the light bills paid, the rent paid, the mortgage. Like, no. A man is supposed to upgrade your life. If you are upgrading his life, just know you're building him up for the next woman while he's breaking you down for the next man. That's what you're doing. You upgrading his life, and he gonna take everything that you poured into him, everything you gave to him, he gonna give it to the next woman who didn't help do nothing. She gonna reap all those benefits that you poured into him. She think he being deep, and he just regurgitating some stuff you showed him and told him. But she being mesmerized and deep and thinking he real deep and rare. And all he doing is showing her or telling her some things about life that you've showed and told him. Somebody drop in the comments, I deserve better. Come on now. And I will attract better. Watch this. And I will become better. Yeah, because we're going to prioritize beauty and fitness. Yeah, so we're going to prioritize our relationship with God and drawing closer to him. Yeah, so when we do those things, we're going to attract high caliber people in our life.
Every time I get on this app, I see so many women on here talking about how they're giving up dating because it's too hard and it's too stressful and they're so disappointed. And I promise, I understand. I've had my heart broken more than my fair share of times. I hear you. I see you. We're here with it. But listen, you don't have to give up dating. You just have to get a life. When the only thing that you do in your life is go to work and date, you are dating as if your life depends on it, okay? And they can feel that energy. When you date with no real life to pour into, you're dating as if your life depends on it. And that makes you feel desperate. It comes off to them. They might not be able to say, oh, she's desperate, but the energy doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to him and it doesn't feel good to you. But when you pour into yourself, when you start being an active participant in your own life, when you start pouring into your own hobbies, join a running club, join a book club, start knitting, start going out more. I don't know. I don't care. Whatever it is that you have to do to fill up your own life with experiences that make you feel happy and make you feel fulfilled, then dating becomes a lot more enjoyable. Like, picture it like you're at a steakhouse. You are the steak, okay? You're the steak. Your hobbies are the sides, okay? Make the mashed potatoes, the green beans, all of that, whatever. Those are the sides. And then dating can just be the little garnish on top of the steak, okay? Do you see what I'm saying? If you start actually living your life and enjoying your life, then dating is just something that adds happiness to it. So instead of having all of this extra focus and extra attention on what's happening or what's not happening and why is he not calling and why is he not texting and why won't he commit to me, you won't have time to think about that if you have a life of your own. But when dating is like the only thing that you have going on, then anything that happens in your dating life feels like it is life-changing. It feels like nothing in your life is working out because this dating thing is not working out. But that's not the reality. If you pour into the rest of your life, then you will start to feel a lot better and a lot lighter, and you can actually enjoy dating instead of it feeling like such a disappointing chore. Just try it for a month and let me know how you feel.
I'm not going to hold your hand when I say this because they look sticky, but it's psychologically impossible, energetically impossible, physically impossible to find yourself in a situationship unless at least one person has compromised self-esteem and one person has compromised integrity. I'm going to repeat that again for the folks who want to fight me. It is psychologically impossible to find yourself in a situationship unless at least one person has compromised self-esteem and one person has compromised integrity. And before you say something like, but no, Blue, he's a good dude, I'm a good person, I'm a boss-ass bitch, it's just complicated. What does that have to do with what I just said? I didn't say you weren't a good person. This is not about being a good person. It's about the strength of your character, or in this case, the lack thereof any. Let's get into it. Now, for anybody who does not know what a situationship is, I got you, right? A situationship is an ambiguous romantic entanglement in which at least one party finds themselves constantly feeling dismayed and or unfulfilled. They want more than what they're getting, right? And a lot of times when I say this definition in my classes, the first pushback I get is, but Blue, it's not ambiguous. You said it's an ambiguous romantic entanglement. It's not ambiguous. Technically, they knew what it was and they agreed to this. Pause, right? I teach about ego death. Pause. only people who lack integrity rely on technicalities to make up for their lack of compassion. People who have a strength of character, who actually care about their impact on others, don't need to rely on technicalities to do the right thing. The example that I always give to explain why technicalities cannot be used to override having any sort of compassion or care about your fellow man is, imagine you're at a party with a friend. You're not best friends, but you're decent friends. And you see that this person looks like they've been drinking a lot. And as they grab their keys to leave the house, you say to them, "Hey friend, are you good to drive home?" And they say, "Yeah, I'm good to drive home. I'm fine." But as they're saying it, you're noting their nonverbals, because communication is over 90% nonverbal. You're seeing that they have bloodshot eyes, they smell like alcohol, they're slurring their words, they're swaying back and forth. Even though they technically told you that they were okay to drive themselves home, what are you going to do if you're a decent person when you see that their words are not aligning with their actions? What are you going to do when you realize that somebody that you care about in any capacity is about to do something that's obviously harmful? In the example that I gave, most of us would intervene for obvious reasons. We want to stop someone from causing themselves unnecessary harm due to an altered and compromised mental state. I just described what it's like when someone with low self-esteem is in a situationship. Instead of being drunk on alcohol, they're drunk on low vibrational attachment masquerading as love. And the person who lacks integrity now is the sober person who recognizes that they are getting something from someone that they have not earned and probably don't deserve. Instead of taking away the keys from a drunk driver, the equivalent would be stepping away and clearing the path for that person who's catching feelings to find someone who actually deserves them. So why don't we do that? Why do we rely on technicalities? Ding, 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 lack of integrity. And because I am very sex positive, I want to very specifically speak to my free love girlies, right? The girls who are like, "No, Blue, I just, I think it's real sexy and provocative to like make out with my friends and have no reasonable boundaries to keep people safe. I just think it's cute and sexy." Pause, sis. I need you to understand, from your big sis at my big age, there's nothing sexy or provocative about feasting on scraps and sitting around hoping that someone will get so tired that they'll pick you as their last resort. That is not sexy. It is sad. In fact, the gag is, whether you're the person with low self-esteem, the person with low integrity, or a combination of both, a walking biohazard, the one thing that you and the person that you are in a situationship have in common is that neither of you like you enough.
Some women stay in struggle love because they feel like they're going to benefit later. That is why you see some women, they lose themselves in a relationship, not because of anything. Most of the time is because they thought that if I struggle with him, if I endure this cheating, if I endure this abuse that he's doing for me and all of that, it's get to a stage whereby things will get better. I stumbled on the video sometimes back, but they were speaking Yoruba. Yoruba is a language in Nigeria, in Africa. Yeah. So, and I am Yoruba. In case you don't know, I'm Yoruba, so I understand Yoruba very well. So she was saying in Yoruba that marriages have different stages, and the stage one is from year one to year five. That is when you're gonna, I think that's why she said you're gonna enjoy the marriage. From year one to year two, you enjoy. When it's coming to year five, you're already having issues. Both of you are already like tired. That's stage one of annoyance in marriage. But if you endure stage one, you enter stage two. And stage two is from like 5 years to 10 years. That is when most of the time the man doesn't have enough money anymore. So you as a woman, you have to work and double your also to provide for the children that you guys already have in the first 5 years. So if you endure enough and you enjoy a lot of abuse, a lot of, a lot of things that's going to happen in 5 to 10 years, you can go to stage three. I forgotten what was going on in stage 3, but let's move to stage 4 because I didn't put the video in my head. So stage 4, she was saying that that is when you start enjoying your marriage. So what I'm trying to say is people promote struggle love. People promote struggle love. They will tell you that what you're experiencing now in your relationship will not last forever. So all you need to do is endure now. When they, in fact, you see a man beating his wife, blue, black, in front of the children, or a man that gets drunk and come back home and misbehave, instead of people to say, you know what, leave, I'm going to support you, leave, I'm going to take care of your children for you, or just, I'm going to support you, whatever means you want to do, or kind of advise this kind of women, or give them a safe place. You know what they advise them? They tell them to stay. They even give them example and say, oh, this man that usually beats his wife, when they got to 10 years in marriage, he stopped beating his wife. So don't worry, you're just 5 years, just have 5 more years to go. You get to a stage whereby your man will stop beating you. Same goes to cheating. Most of the time, people tell you cheating is normal when it comes to men. Men cheat and there's nothing you can do about it. So what's your guarantee? You're leaving this one and going to the next one that will still cheat on you. So why don't you stay with this one? So far it's providing, so far it's still coming home to you. Stay with him till it's going to change. Just keep praying, keep hoping, and have faith that one day it's going to change. These are what they do. And also when it comes to financial aspects, see, I feel like that financial aspect is like number one when it comes to struggle, because most of the time, once a woman stay with a man that doesn't have so much, once, I don't know what's gonna happen, probably he doubled his hustle, I don't know. But once he start having money and once he start getting rich and having money to do this or that, he doesn't think about the woman that stayed with him through thick and thin. He's already seeing her as she's old, he's already having less interest, and he's already having interest in other women. I feel like there's 100% guarantee that a man that does not have money before, once he start having money, is going to cheat on his wife or his woman, or even though you're not married, he's going to cheat on you. Like, it's a normal thing for men. I don't know why they do that. They feel like for you to stay with me while I don't have money, you know what I want. I feel like they are with you or they are in a relationship with you because they don't have money. So now that they have money to get whatever woman that they want, they go pursue the woman that they want with the money. So the long and short of it is, no matter how long you stay and struggle and feel like at the end of the day, once he has money, he's going to take care of me, there's no guarantee that's going to take care of you. In case, unless you're just doing it for doing sake. But if you think that, oh, probably I'm going to smile at the end or I'm going to be happy at the end, maybe you're expecting something later on in the future, I don't think you should do that. I don't think any man that raises his hand on his woman will ever stop doing that. The moment you accept the first one, it's going to be like a routine. It's going to try it again even after 20 years of marriage. I personally don't believe there are stages to marriage. I feel like, what do you mean by that stage one, stage two, stage three? Yeah, I should suffer from year one to like 25 years or something before I start enjoying marriage. Then why am I married? Why are people getting married? Because will I have to suffer stage one, stage two, stage three, and stage four? What if I'm no longer alive in stage four? What if I got unalive in the process of enduring? What if my partner got unalive? So when do I enjoy the union? Right? I personally don't believe what that woman was saying about the stages of marriage. So you need to calm down. In fact, some people tell you, I've heard people say, maybe your own time is to enjoy your marriage later on. So when they see you struggling and unhappy and tired in a relationship, they tell you it's just the phase, just the very first period. Probably your destiny does not allow you to enjoy it in the beginning. So you're going to enjoy it later at the end. So wait. till you enjoy it. So these are struggle love. This so I feel like these things supposed it's not supposed to exist in 2025. I feel like women by now they should already know that all this is just scope for them to keep you in that relationship as long as they can. I just believe that these are the lies that they give women and just say, you know what, let us keep deceiving them so that they will continue enduring. Because no matter what you do, no matter how useless a woman is in a relationship, she's still very useful to that man. And I personally feel like if you're not useful to that man in any way, he's going to leave you. But women will stay with a man that is not useful in any way, all because of the title. I have a man, I have a boyfriend, I have this, I have that, I am Mrs. They just like that title. So no matter what the man is doing, they're gonna stay. Men don't do that. Men choose themselves. So I believe that in 2025, women should choose themselves and don't even glorify struggle of when you see your friends struggling. I just feel like love should not be you should not be struggling to be in love. You should not be in love and be struggling and you're having issues back to back and it's affecting your mental health. That is a toxic relationship. That kind of relationship, you should not be in that kind of relationship for your mental health. What is your take on struggle love? Let's have conversation down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always, it's your girl Mara Davis, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.